Claire. Please. Me? Claire said nothing at first. She just stared at me, her lips curling into a cold, mocking smile. Then she spoke, her voice soft but commanding. Isaac, beg me. Beg me to stay, and I want leave. She must have forgotten. A long time ago, ID already begged her. ID swallowed my pride and asked, Claire, can we just sit down and talk calmly? Can we stop fighting? Can't we just be happy together? Can you treat me better? 4741 Can you treat me better? I remember how she had stared at me back then, her gaze cold as ice. And shed smile as she said, Isaac, you don't deserve it. Those words had stayed with me ever since, lodged deep in my heart. And now, finally, I could say them back to her. Grabbing her collar, I looked her dead in the eye and said, slowly and deliberately, Claire, you don't deserve it. She froze for a moment, then let out a bitter laugh. Raising the phone to her ear, she said to Ryan, I'm coming to get you. Without another glance at me, she stood up, slammed the door, and walked out. The next day, photos of Claire fighting another woman over Ryan spread through our social circles like wildfire. It was the first time one of her affairs had turned into such a public spectacle. Reporters were waiting outside our house. As I walked out, they swarmed me, bombarding me with questions. Claire's company had grown rapidly over the past few years, and she was a rising name in Westbridge. Not only was she wealthy, but she was also stunningly beautiful, frequently trending online. One young reporter asked, Mr. Brooks, do you have any comments on what happened between Claire and Ryan? I didn't stop walking. Without looking back, I replied, one's a cheating wife, and the other's the kind of man who knowingly gets involved with one. What do you want me to say? The reporter followed me, persistent. But I heard that when Claire was at her lowest, you dumped her for money. Then, when she became successful, you guilt-tripped her into marrying you. Now that she's found true love with Ryan, who's clearly a better match, you're clinging to the title of her husband and calling him a homewrecker. Don't you think you're the real problem here? I stopped, turned around, and gave him a cold smile. Grabbing the badge hanging around his neck, I read his name and flipped it over. On the back, there was a student ID from Hillside University. Calmly, I asked, you're Ryan's friend, aren't you? Everyone in these circles knows Claire did whatever it took to marry me. You think I wanted to marry her? Or are you here on his behalf, trying to sling mud at me so your buddy can successfully take my place? The reporter's face paled. He snatched his badge back and stammered, I am Ryan's friend, but I'm a journalist. Everything I say is fair and objective. If you really didn't want to marry her, he continued, regaining his composure, then why haven't you divorced her now that she's fallen for someone else? I smirked, about to respond, but then I felt a familiar warmth trickling from my nose. Blood. Someone sneered, Mr. Brooks keeps saying he doesn't care, that he was forced into this marriage, but look at him so stressed out he's giving himself nosebleeds. I wiped the blood from my lips with my finger and said evenly, I'm not stressed. I'm sick. Dying, actually. Nosebleeds are common these days. The crowd fell silent. The mocking smiles disappeared. Only the young reporter kept talking. Oh, come on. Quit the act. A nosebleed makes you a dying man now? You're just trying to play the sympathy card. I can't stand guys like you always playing the victim, using every dirty trick in the book. You make us all